Palma. Oh,
man.
that's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game.
To Del Fuentes.
Oh, wow.
Delgado makes the shot and knocks it down. Lorna is open. 3-point.
Goodness! Face a jumper by Robin Celis.
Caballero has time.
Now it's Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness.
Still here at the beautiful town of Pola in Oriental Mindoro. The humble town of Pola has been also a hotbed in terms of basketball as we have fans flocked inside the venue. This is just the second game of our Saturday triple header featuring two squads in the South Division. JJ Caspe back after missing their last game last Saturday. The guy with the most points in a single game this season will go up against one of the guys who's been in his position once before. Ito si Alwin Anday para dito sa Rizal. It's the second game of our triple header between Imus Brotherhood and the Rizal Central Mall Golden Coolers. Magandang gabi mga kaliga. Ken Pangilinan with Coach Mike Perez, and at courtside we have Miss Gianna Lianes. And Coach Mike, itong two teams na ito, Coach, had strong starts to the season but have struggled of late. Pero napakalaga na makakuha sila ng panalo dito.
Yeah, it's very important for both teams to get the win. Well, one, itong Rizal, we wanna keep it really close at the top 4. Samantalang ito na mga Imus, just a couple of games behind itong Rizal. And so the hope is you get to catch up and keep that top 10 slot for your team.
Just 2.5 games separating these two squads. Of course, you're watching us live on the official Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also on Solar Sports later on at 6 p.m. And Imus, no, nagtungo sila sa Abra in their last game, Coach Michael, just last Saturday. Kalaban nila itong Parañaque Patriots. And we saw that in the first half of that game, nahirapan tong Imus fend off itong Parañaque. They were actually trailing at the half by 3 points, 33-30. But the strong start to the third was the difference in this one, despite missing JJ Casper.
Well, apart from going up against just 7 players, Parañaque did their thing, but they really just got outnumbered later in the later quarters of that match. Ken Aryar led all starters with 18 points. He was a double-double, 18 points, 17 rebounds. From the bench naman, it's Reggie Boy Basibas who had 12 and 13, also a double-double para dito sa Imus. But the shooting's been pretty good at 45%. They did dominate the boards. And of course, because of the numbers, they pretty much got more points in the paint and second chance points. Both a double-digit advantage para dito sa Imus.
Much needed win rather para dito sa Imus Brotherhood as they were able to snap a free game losing skid. Ngayon kalaban nila itong Rizal Central Mall Golden Coolers. Once were 5-0 with a strong start this season, but medyo nahirapan sila sa mga last few games sila. Top contenders both in the north and the south. And dito in their last game, Coach Mike, kalaban nila yung Pampanga had a slow start as well in the first quarter. Nakahabol sila. Actually, it was tied late in this quarter, pero nakahabol itong Pampanga was able to pull out the stops in the end.
Well, I'm sure heading into the more important games later on this season, itong Rizal would look at their end game execution. Ang daming laro nila that they could have won, but it went the other way. In that game, Samboy De Leon actually led all scorers with 20 points. Samantalang ito naman si Eric Campson had 18 to go with 8 assists. Shooting the ball was really a problem. They shot only 32% from the field. And all because, you know, not enough guys are making it. And the free throws have been 71% of 15 of 21. They got out rebounded, and so the points in the paint pretty much a -4 in favor of Pampanga in that game.
Actually took that alley-oop free by
That's
Archie
right.
Concepcion for Pampanga to pull off that win over Rizal. All right, it's the second game between Imus and Rizal dito po sa Pola, Oriental Mindoro. And you know, Imus trying to go for back-to-back wins. Rizal trying to bounce back from that loss. Let's go to Miguel Pre as he introduces the starters.
25 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7. Let's meet the starting fives. Beginning with the Imus Grumpy Joe Brotherhood. Starting at guard number 13, Rusei Koga. Center number 14, Ray Acuno. Forward number 17, Kit Ariar. Also at forward number 24, Mark Doligon. And the two guards, your very own from Puerto Galera, JJ Caspe. The Imus Grumpy Joe Brotherhood will be led by TJ Marquez. Team owner is Ruby Navarro. Here comes the starting five for Rizal Central Mall Golden Coolers. Starting at guard number 18, Keanu Caballero. Also at guard number 17, Alvin Alday. Starting at center, number 13, Eric Camson. Forward number 26, Marco Balagtas. And the other forward, number 6, and Neil Jizer Tolentino. The head coach for Rizal Central Mall Golden Coolers is Ralph Rivera. Assistant coaches Don Villamin, Christian Coronel, and Mario Gotera. Team managers Joel Conde, team governor Xandre Cruz, team owners Jaime Lim and Alexander Cruz.
Starting five brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Imus with the backcourt of Rusey Koga and the hometown hero JJ Caspe. Up front, Ray Acuno, Kit Ariar, and Mark Doligon. Rizal with Keanu Caballero, Alvin Alday, Eric Camson, Marco Balagtas, and Neil Tolentino to round out the five for the Golden Coolers. JJ Caspe hails from Calapan in Oriental Mindoro, just an hour or two away from Pola. And it's a grand homecoming for him, especially he missed their last game, although panalo naman sila against Parañaque. But ito, very important game going up against Rizal na halos kadikit lang nila sa ating team standings. And the tip going to the side of the Golden Coolers. Camson making another start. Alvin Alday puts it up and puts it in for the first basket of the ball game para sa Rizal.
Well, that surely is one guy you want to keep in check if you're Imus. Alvin Alday, you know, scoring-wise, is pretty much one of the guys that the Golden Coolers look to.
Doligon, no good on that shot. Forward pass ni Caballero. Last touch on Neil Tolentino. Alvin Alday, his 16th start of the season. Both he and Marco Balagtas have started in all of the games that they're played para dito sa Golden Coolers. JJ Caspe also making another start. Now drives and lays it up and in. JJ Caspe.
Top two guns of both respective teams have started out scoring for respectively. Alvin Alday for Rizal, samantala ito naman si JJ Caspe here for the Imus Brotherhood. I was just so impressed with his 46 point in the previous game.
The game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
And you see that ball control, no? Cuffed it, went right through the gut of the defense. Nobody was able to take that away from him, and still able to finish with a lot of finesse.
Almost a steal. Koga recovers. Bounce pass to Mark Doligon. Fires it free. No good. Tolentino grabs the rebound for Rizal. Tolentino sidesteps his way to the basket.
How many times do you see that in Neil Tolentino? Sure, you see him a lot of times. Depensa, grabe ang energy niya. Pero you let him get that ball untouched downhill, pretty much capable to make a finish.
Koga with a big-time free. Up top, Imus with their first taste of the lead, 5-4.
Koga for the season has not really shot the ball that well from three, shooting only 19%. But pretty much when you go back to his college days in San Beda, you know he's gonna knock it down as Neil Tolentino.
Hindi natin kilala yan, ha? For knocking down those shots from the outside.
Yeah. But man, he's 50% from there. He's made half of his shots.
And now he grabs another board, his second. 7-5 Rizal. Balagtas face-up jumper. Clanks off the rim. Acuno tracks down the miss. Caspe, long distance three. Off to the right. Samson clears it for Rizal. Keanu against Rusey. Got pushed by Koga.
Yeah, for three straight possessions, uncharacteristically, they've been looking to kneel here.
Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on-the-go speaker. Take your music anywhere.
Hinahanap nila itong si Neil, no? For the most part, it's really Alwin and Eric that they try and find. Alwin on a corner exit here.
Right on cue. Alday, floater. And JJ Caspe grabs the rebound. Kit Aryar. Mintis yung kanyang tira from mid-range.
Gandang matchup yun, Kent Aryar at Marco Balagtas.
Tolentino, tres ulit yan. That time, no good. Imus clears it. Down by 2. More than 3 minutes gone by in the first. Apuno goes to the post. Doligon slips and failed to use his size advantage over Keanu on that possession.
Staying with Neil Tolentino. For the most part in a game, he'd get 5 attempts. Right now, in the first quarter alone, he's already had 3.
LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Tolentino whips a pass to Alwin Alday, drives baseline, the teardrop, too strong. One and done by Rizal. Tatakbo ang Imus. Koga, another turnover, almost. Yeah, it is a turnover.
It should be Rizal ball. And Tolentino really just camped in there, staying. You see this drive right here, all hitting the body of Yusei Koga. Keanu didn't even touch it.
Approaching the 6-minute mark of the first quarter, Balagtas, nakabuelo. Kent Aryar was caught out of position to challenge that shot. Will be called for that foul.
Quick thinking then for Marco. Understands na parating pa lang yung depensa ni Kent Aryar as he already got that rock. You know, he was a couple of dribbles away from the cup and so he went right straight to it. And how many times do you see si Marco Balagtas na galing from that right side of the floor at that angle would finish that way? Mostly floaters, bank shots. That was, to me, a different finish for Marco Balagtas.
Itong free throw na ito ay atid sa atin ng Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Dalawang free throw na ipasok ni Marco Balagtas. 4 ang labang ng Rizal, 9-5. Basibas, bounce pass papunta kay Kent Aryar, laban kay Marco Balagtas. Koga pupukol sa 3, no good. Tolentino with a running start. The numbers here, great feed inside, papunta kay Marco Balagtas for 2 points.
Full head of steam with a lot of deceleration, staying in control and feeding off with that left hand. Good attack by Tolentino.
Ball tapped by Eric Camson. Fast break of the game. Atid sa atin ng Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme magpalamig. Free installation for split type air conditioners.
Bibilib ka dun kasi halos parang tatapusin niya with the left hand. Pero last second, he was able to dish it off. Steal.
Alday gets it across to Keanu Caballero. Camson. Now to Alday. Attacks the defense of JJ Caspe. Scores plus a foul.
Now, 2 things that you love there. 1, I love the post-split action of Rizal, always being capable in there. But how about this activity of Alday? Really just going to that lane, seeing that opening, making it a foot chase to that spot against JJ, and able to finish with that right-hand scoop.
Completes the 3-point play. It's a 10-0 run by Rizal as they establish this 9-point lead. Caspe hounded by Tolentino and they force a turnover. Bola babalik sa panig ng Rizal.
Well, all because Tolentino came in and started digging in. You see a little talk between Coach Marco Balagtas and Coach Ralph Rivera on defensive coverages.
Alday may tangan ng bola, binigay kay Marco Balagtas. Back to Alwin. Straight away free. No good. Rebound by Kint Ariar. Koga, who made their last basket. Almost another turnover, but they got bailed out by that foul against Rizal. Someone got caught pushing. It was Keanu Caballero.
Usually Koga was kind of like looking for a re-screen after that first screen didn't hit. I was looking for Kent Ariar, who already slipped.
Polygon having trouble inbounding the ball. It will stay on their side, 12 on their shot clock.
Good activity by Marco Balagtas dun sa area na yun. Pretty much the trap area.
Ooh! Ariar was not ready for that pass. Alday sweeping hook, no. Balagtas. Neil Tolentino cutting back door from the weak side, and great feed right there by Keanu Caballero.
The activity also of Neil Tolentino, pretty much good in there. That missed shot, swung it over to the left corner, but that back cut on the baseline area, Neil claimed, and he got that basket.
This is the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. We have a timeout by Imus. Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Let's check in with Miss Gianna Lianes.
Ken and Coach Mike, JV De La Cruz will be making his return for Imus today. Pero sabi rin ni Coach Britt that we should watch out for the Brotherhood's upcoming games because they do plan to acquire players during the trade period that will help them in the rebounding department. Dahil nga, hindi ito ang unang pagkakataon na makakapaglaro ang Imus dito sa Mindoro. Mas kalmado daw sila papasok ng laro ngayon because familiar na sila sa biyahe papunta rito. Knowing that they are facing a well-disciplined team in Rizal today, Coach Britt adds that they adjusted their defensive schemes for this game and focused on conditioning at practice so they will not be out-hustled. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Gianna. And it's really great that you mentioned about how they wanted to have some help in terms of rebounding because currently they are number 7 in that department at actually number 5 pa nga eh. They have 4-way tie between Basilan, Binyan, and Quezon at 47.7 rebounds per contest. And also Imus is one of the best offensive rebounding teams, number 4 at 16.8. Although I guess if you're Coach Britt, you want to build on that yung kanilang strengths.
That's right. At saka mahalaga yun. See a 3 right here by Coco Pingboy. Mahalaga yun because you do understand we're mid of the season, the games are gonna get tougher, and the later games are gonna determine which spot you go, how far you go in the playoffs. Now, the mention of De La Cruz, to me, is a big thing. We do understand, we've seen him early this season, the 5 games that he played where he averaged roughly about 26 minutes per game. To that point where he played 5 games, he is actually the 3rd leading scorer, even with just 5 games played at 10.2 per game. 3rd when it comes to rebound, 3rd when it comes to assists, and he's 2nd best 3-point shooter so far para dito sa Imus, where he knocks in 42% of his shots. And so when you talk about additional valued players para dito sa Brotherhood, De La Cruz might just be it.
Oh yeah, also ano naman na to established scorer na ito much like this guy, Alwin Alday, who hits a free. An 18-0 run right now by Rizal. 3 of 5 sila from beyond the arc, 1 of 5 lamang ang Imus. The Brotherhood have been scoreless now for almost 6 minutes. Pinggoy.
Be stuck at 5 for quite a while.
Oo, it was 5-4 earlier. Lamang pa nga sila ng isa after that free by Rusey Koga, but it has gone down south since. Foul called on Imus. 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Well, you see that three by Alvin Alday. First off, you didn't have enough closeout to, challenge that shot. And you know how sweet a shot Alvin Alday has in there. Much as Alvin Alday makes this season about 33% of his shots from there, I'm sure he's not happy because he understands mas marami pa siyang pwede ma-convert sana in the previous games.
Cañete susugod, nakabingwit ng foul laban kay Basibas at the 2-minute mark. 2 more free throws coming up for Rizal. So far perfect, 3 out of 3. Kerbangeles will replace JJ Caspe, who surprisingly was ineffective in the first quarter here. As Mike Cañete, pasok yung kanyang unang free throw.
Yeah, he pretty much is 1 out of 3 from the field. Speaking of JJ, with just a couple of rebounds, 1 assist, and a turnover. So, him coming back and be playing at home, you like to think you'll see better and have that little bit of excitement to play in front of his home crowd.
Imus napako na sa 5 points. And another lousy turnover against the Brotherhood.
They have given up a total of 7 turnovers, to which Rizal has gotten 10 points out of it. Possibly 12 here. Yep.
Robin Ives scores.
12 point of turnover of all these turnovers that they were forced into. A couple of them unforced actually.
21-point lead para sa Rizal. Jed Ong to Kerbangeles. Drives right. Bangeles finally breaks through. And that's their first basket after more than 7 minutes.
Yes. Well, you like how the activity progressed into this. Kerbangeles really just attacking that right side of the floor, which Naive got beat into. And so he had to chase pretty much for the most part.
Actually, first basket after exactly 7 minutes of game action for Imus, but failed to sink in that bonus free throw. Coco Pinggoy, sablay yung tira sa labas, pero sa loob nandoon si Mike Cañete for the stick back.
That's a seal right there.
Just before the shot, foul against Rizal. Soriano was trying to use his size advantage over Pinggoy there.
Pretty much basic basketball. You got a big man rim running down the middle. If that's just the guard underneath, you are supposed to seal him off, which what Soriano did.
Second chance points.
JP corner.
You called it. Belenciano can't hit the free. Naive, 5-on-1 fast break. Posible. Lays it up and a foul given up. Actually a good foul by Jed Ong.
I like the chase. I like the effort. It's clean play for the ball. And he sprinted like he wanted to really stop that offensive attack.
So, mag-isa lang talaga siya dun eh.
Oh.
Apasible at the line. And that was a good foul indeed. Sablay yung unang free throw ni John Apasible.
And surprisingly, John's only 61% from there. See the free throw story. 5 of 6 for Rizal and 1 out of 1 for Imus.
29-7 is the score. 22-point lead. Kerbangeles. Backdoor cut by Basibas. Foul called on Rizal.
Well, John was actually fronting itong si Reggie Boy Basibas. And Samboy tried to steal that pass from above through the back. Pero natawagan ng foul.
At nabiyayaan din ang dalawang free throw si Reggie Boy Basibas. Remember, had that monster double-double against Marikina in Abra.
And what you like about Reggie, he's progressed to be a really efficient perimeter shooter. Even from 3, he's averaging 33% from there. Oh, what an attack.
Robin Ive was called for that foul. Second foul on the former Benit Blazer. 2 shots coming up by Kerbangeles. 21 seconds remaining here in the first period. Kerr Bangeles good on the first free throw.
Known bruiser, not afraid of the contact, can absorb it, can finish. We saw that earlier. Kerr really just making Robin Iber work right now.
Supply yung kanyang pangalawa. Oh, Samboy De Leon. Libreng-libre sa kabila. 31-9. Jed Ong drives left. Drives right. The lefty finds a cutting Errol Soriano to beat the buzzer.
Good play to end the quarter here for the Imus Brotherhood, at least on a basket.
Fast break of the game. It's atin na Extreme X-Pop. Personal karaoke speaker. Everyday karaoke.
And they just found John Apasible, and Apasible says, no, Sambo, you go get it. Finishes off that basket for the Rizal team.
And Rizal with a 20-point lead over Imus at the end of quarter number 1. Hixer fan, great Hixer fan of the game, born for greatness.
And one of the many fans here in Pola Mindoro. Ayan na po yung iba pa.
At yun nga yung sinasabi ko itong bayan ng Pola, first game pa lang pinupuno na nila itong venue, no? And that's one of the rare places that ganyan yung sitwasyon. Goes to show you how much they love basketball here in the town of Pola in Oriental Mindoro.
And really it goes to show you why that passion by the Mindoro Tamaraws, especially Mayora Ina, who's pretty much highly involved in their teams. Ganun talaga no? Malaki rin ang basketball dito sa Pola Mindoro.
Yeah. Estacio susugod. Draws a foul against Imus. Former St. Clair College of Caloocan under Coach Gino Manansala.
I tell you, he's a gem that's really just waiting to explode and contribute more para dito sa Rizal. I clearly remember when I think he was playing for Marikina, if I recall correctly. You know, he was pretty good alongside Eric Pili, and so you're not going to be surprised if he's going to be contributing a lot for Rizal. 3 right there by Coco.
Second three-pointer for the former UAP junior star, Coco Pinggoy.
Coco right now is shooting so much better than his normal 22% from 3.
23-point lead by Rizal. Hook shot does not work for Errol Soriano. Pinggoy again. 3-point shot won't work. Inside, Cañete. Third chance opportunity, wala pa din. And finally, Pasibas with a rebound, grabs and goes.
Oh, wow.
Great up fake for the basket.
How do you love Reggie Boy Pasibas right now? Got that defensive rebound and a couple of offensive rebounds by Rizal. Went the floor, sprinted, had body control to finish, stop it, decelerate before making those 2 points. Such a good move by Reggie Boy.
Melenchon. Now it's Jake Ong with the basketball. Ong. Ball will stay with Imus with 9 on their shot clock. Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Just a good understanding of deceleration and the use of the footwork. Normally you see that in guards, but this time around, it's a big man, Reggie Boy, doing it.
Tres yan, galing kay Mark Doligo. Nakakapasok lang muli para dito sa Imus Brotherhood.
21% three-point shooter. Good enough for that shot.
4 of 9 ang Rizal. Samantala, itong Imus, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc. Miss from Samboy De Leon. Doligon, this time attacks. Doligon leaning right, but still making that shot. Mark Doligon with 5 straight points. The former Arellano chief trying to spark a comeback para dito sa Imus. Dixer, great move of the game, born for greatness.
Going through 3 defenders after eluding the primary defense. And whenever you have your prime players going to work, does you something good. This time a good run for Imus.
Imus with a 7-0 run, forcing a timeout from Rizal. We'll be back after the short break. Fan of the Game is brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. At magandang gabi po sa ating mga manonood. Lalo ngayon na nasa loob nitong Pola Gymnasium, punong-puno po tayo. At wala pa po ang ating main game. Mamaya yan, Mindoro, kalaban ang Muntinlupa.
And you love, Ken, that it's very much, you know, very raw yung basketball dito. Even the fans when they go here, you know, because of the heat, talagang yung komportable mga sotang ginagamit nila. See that drive there by Mark Doligon again. The primary players being active here for the Imus Brotherhood.
De Leon whistled for his second foul. Eric Pili comes in for Samboy De Leon. Doligon at the line. Former Arellano chief. Also well-traveled. Has played in countries like Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia. Thailand, Indonesia, and Malaysia, I should say.
And this season for the Imus Brotherhood, he's second in minutes played.
Flirted with a triple-double against Parañaque. 17 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Chopping this lead of Rizal. Only 15 points. Cañete inside. Basket and one after that beautiful pass from Aaron Estacio. Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Coaches would always tell you, get to a spot here where you bring in a secondary defender, you have to let it go. Because on the backside of that disadvantage is an advantage waiting for you. Well, exactly what happened there. 3 on him. You just found Cañete on the other side. So it's very important for kids nowadays to understand once you get a secondary defender, there's definitely numbers advantage on the backside of where you are now.
37-19. Doligon laban kay Eric Pili. Poposte. Eric Pili able to force a turnover. Estacio binigay kay Eric Camson sa itaas. Eric Pili pupukol sa 3. And ball will go back to Imus after that miss.
He just came in. That's his first attempt. That's okay if you're Eric Pili. You understand you're one of the top 3-point shooting guards of Rizal. So you just need to get more minutes here in this game.
Doligon went up. Foul given up by Aaron Estacio.
For the 3rd straight time, we've seen Mark Doligon aggressively attack that lane. And which bodes well for the Imus Brotherhood.
Mark Doligon back at the line. Special deal from 1xBet. Scan a QR code and claim your special offer.
Mark Doligon being there, I said earlier, is they're second in minutes played, second in points per game, second in assists. He's also tops when it comes to turnovers, with roughly about 2.2 per game. That's something that he's got to be able to control, speaking of Mark.
Labayen is in for Rizal. He holds a 16-point advantage over Imus at the moment. Eustacio against Caspe. Drives right. Ball off his knee. Turnover against the Golden Coolers.
Very unlikely of Aaron to be losing that ball that close. For the most part, makita mo, tinatapos na niya yun with the basket, ano?
Caspe has yet to get things going for Imus. LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Only 2 points so far for JJ Caspe. Oh, great pass though. Papunta kay Kit Aryar for the basket.
Everything done right there. Drive to the left side on a jump stop. Waits mid-air. Finds Kent to go to that spot.
Kamson, his first attempt from the outside. A miss and a foul against Jeric Serrano. 14 foul already laban dito sa Rizal.
Well, Rizal right now, I'm sure Coach Raf is not satisfied because of, making Imus score in bunches here so far here in the second quarter. They had what, 5 pa in the first quarter?
Yeah. Bola na agaw kay Rusey Koga. Alwin Alday sa 3. Wala. Doligon with a full head of steam but can't finish. Numbers for Rizal.
That's right, numbers.
Alday. Pass to Kamson. He pulls it back out. Now he attacks, getting past Ray Acuno and gets the basket. Free throw coming up for the former Adamson Falcon, Eric Kamson.
Kamson had 2 options there. One, to feed off Alvin Alday, was waiting in the corner, but he decides, I got foot speed advantage against Mark Acuno in this instance, and that complete control, body strength for that finish by Eric Kamson.
At merong ikikwento sa atin si Miss Janel Llanes.
Itong si Eric Kamson grew up with 4 older brothers at lahat sila ay nagbabasketball. Kaya hanggang ngayon, nakakatulong sila na makapag-prepare siya sa kahit anong sitwasyon on court. Dahil daw sa mga kuya niya ngayon ay mahalaga para kay Eric maging older brother figure para sa kanyang teammates. His biggest advice to them, matulog at magising ng maaga. In his words, everything you do outside of the court will show how seriously you take the game of basketball on court. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Gianna. Siguro maaga din natulog to kagabi, no? Si Eric Kamson. But, seriously though, as Kent Aryar scores for Imus, Eric Kamson has always been a model of strength. Even with his immediate family, alam naman natin yung personal problems na pinagdadaanan niya ngayon. But still playing at a high level at that. And, not letting any of those affect his style of play, as finally we see a transition basket galing dito kay JJ Caspe.
Well, I like that you pointed that out about Eric Kamson. You have to remember when he was playing for Terra Firma in the PBA, this is a very high IQ player in Eric Kamson. Much as everybody talks about lakas ng katawan, ng tangkad, marunong gumamit ng strength niya sa loob, to me what impresses me most is his basketball IQ.
Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on the go speaker. Take your music anywhere.
Strong drive right there by JJ, and nothing much that Alvin Alday could do against that run.
Caspe facing a double team. Release pass. Kent Aryar still can find the range here. But Imus is just down by 13. This was a 23-point lead at one point.
24.
Uy, yung pasa lang ni Aryar intended for Mark Doligon.
Yeah, and they were up by as much as 24 itong Rizal.
Oh yeah, 24 points.
When they went on that 22-point run leading up to that 24 lead advantage.
3.5 to go here in the second period. Alvin Alday to Eric Kamson against Kent Aryar. Kamson can't shake him off. Jumper off the mark. RER, sidestep. Good no call by our game official. Labayen.
Oh, no.
Alday, libreng-libre sa tres. Wala yan. Imus dodging a bullet. Doligon maintaining his dribble and finishes strong to the basket plus a foul.
Good use of body control. Good use of covering that rock. And enough decelerate to finish going glass for the big man in Mark Doligon. See this right here. Went past the defense. Eric was on him. Kontra-tempo yung lundag eh. Hindi alam ni Eric kung kailan siya layup. All the while he thought he was also going back to the other side on a little Nash dribble. But Mark says, no, I'm going to finish it right here.
Gets it back. Ooh, but that shot not even close. 40-29 is the score. 11-point lead. Kamson at the elbow.
Clear.
Backing down Reggie Boy Basibas. Fadeaway jumper by Kamson. Rattles in.
And slowly but surely, Rizal trying to chop on the defense of the bigs right here as Eric trying to measure against that defense of Reggie Boy. He saw that space down the middle on my sweet spot. This is going to be good.
Imus using their timeout, but this lead is just down to 13 points, 42-29. Next 3 games of Rizal, June 30 kalaban ng Davao Occidental Tigers, July 7 against the #1 ranked team in the South, Zamboanga, and on July 12 they will take on Pasig City.
Yeah, that's a huge threat. Because if you look at their two other remaining games for the month of July, I think, or June, they are also going to get later on Nueva Ecija and Quezon. So that's a tough stretch. So you go Zamboanga, Pasig, Nueva Ecija, and Quezon. You're going to have to prepare real good for those matches.
Imus trailing by a baker's dozen. Doligon, susugod, nasupalpal ni Jeric Serrano. Jerome Ong. That mid-range jumper won't work. Alday, Serrano, the lefty using his right hand for the finish.
All lanes filled correctly right there. JB's going to attack this one.
Fires a free, it's good.
You know, you kind of saw it in his eyes already. Once he saw that ball on his hands from the back and nobody taking him, surely he's going to find that spot on the three and take it.
Under 2 minutes left in the first half. Labayen gets to the gut of the defense and rolls that shot in.
Labayen might have missed out on that seal by Eric Kamson, pero boy, he did well on that layup attempt down the lane.
Doligon sneaks through the lane. That jumper is short. Kamson grabs the rebound.
Nobody's taking that ball away from the hands of Eric Kamson.
Oh,
Grabe
yes.
yung grip eh.
That's for sure. Now he attacks off the glass. No good. JJ Caspe has to get himself going here. Caspe pulls it back out. Jerome Ong susugod. At may foul na itatawag laban dito kay Labayen.
Now, I like that move by Ong.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Really needed just one dribble escape to hoist that three. But Ong, I love how he attacked that immediately. After that pass by JJ Caspe, he just allowed JJ Caspe to pass by and then immediately took the spot that JJ vacated. So he went straight into the lane and got that attempt and he got fouled.
46-34. Much more manageable margin for Imus. 12-point lead for Rizal. Foul given up by Jerome Ong. Last foul to give the quarter.
Trying to manage final seconds here for Imus.
Alday to throw it in. Jeric Serrano against Mark Doligon. Doligon got the baseline and Serrano obliged, scoring 2 points.
Well, no help there on the weak side. He gets to that weak side, takes that attempt. No one even challenged. Everybody got surprised he went there.
Not a good foul by Labayen. 30 feet away from the basket. They are in penalty.
Yeah, that's the thing. Ito yun, yun. Little post up. Sizing up that baseline. No, just tries it on the other end.
First free throw is good for Jerome Ong.
And Mark got faked out real good. There's a move na yun.
13-point lead. 32 seconds left here in the first half.
They're not gonna go for 2-for-1 here.
Serrano pull up. Another one para kay Jeric Serrano. Doligon shifting hands and laying it up and in with his right hand.
A little left and right cross, followed by the shoulder fake.
6 seconds left in the second quarter. Camson for free. No. Basibas will not get off a shot. That's the end of our first 2 quarters. Eric Camson with 5 points in the first half. And they had their biggest lead once at 24 points. But Imus making a game out of it here as we head into the halftime break. Rizal with a 13-point lead over Imus, 50-37.
I came from nothing. Just a small boy from streets of General Santos City. No shoes, no food, no chance, just a dream in my heart. From flyweight to junior middleweight, 8 divisions. Thank you. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang bawat Pilipinong nangangarap at lumalaban. This is our victory. This is our story. And the best is yet to come.
Manny Pacquiao is annihilating Oscar De La Hoya's. That is the most spectacular one-punch shot of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way up and goes down again. Straight left lands for Manny. Does he have Cotto in trouble? Manny Pacquiao is a storm. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he finds the straight left hand. And there's the punching down. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
Lastimosa, foot on the line. Still no go, and Larry Rodriguez doing a terrific
What a
job.
pass.
Wow! And Tolentino with a finish. Saktong-sakto.
I don't know who that was, but it looked to be Larry Patrick Mahomes Rodriguez.
Hindi ba Tom Brady yun? What a pass.
Ang mahirap pa sa pasa na yon, got the rebound in traffic, halos malapit na siya dun sa baseline, no, sa linya ng binyan. But the look ahead sa kabilang court, and obviously yung pag-execute ng pasa.
Pinan went too early. Gives an opportunity for Batangas, but Keith Pido getting the steal. Enough time for Pasig City. 5 seconds remaining. Manalang gets it back. Warlo Batak Taxbinder lays it up and in to beat the buzzer.
The young Warlo Batak making the right decision, not going for the three-point shot. He knew that he had it in him to be able to beat the clock by attacking the basket and still getting a high percentage shot.
Turco, it ends up as a turnover. Takbo si Jeff Comia. Comia stays in control, and Comia with a beautiful finish.
Sometimes you think that he's already out of control, but he really is in control. Gets another wily shot right there to not just entertain the crowd here, but to also extend this Davao lead.
Ano ba yun? Semi-Smithy ba yun?
Yeah, looking one way and going the other.
Moralde misses the layup.
Trying to fish for a foul. 2-on-1 coming up.
Sumido! Oh, Lander Cannon.
Pumatay ng lamok doon sa palpal na yun. Kita mo naman yung palpal na to, determinado. Uy, back-to-back blocks yun, ha?
Oh, dalawa.
By Mr. Cannon.
Well, Cannon has had a few highlights this season. No? Yung mga palpal niya.
Forward pass Perumingan to Chauca. Back to Tricky. Behind the back. Oh, what a pass to Sam Peralta for the deuce.
Practically a give and go. Tricky Perumingan gives it up to Val Chauca, then gets it back, and then another pass, a spectacular one behind the back to Sam Peralta.
Thompson as well.
Sa laki ni Kamson, no? Oftentimes he would expect a strong finish. That time, little finesse.
Caballero finds Kamson! Basket and one. What a pass from Caballero to Eric Kamson. Terrific finish galing kay Eric
So
Kamson.
itong kombinasyon na to by Keanu and Eric ngayong gabi has been really effective.
Went through it. The defense. Oh!
What a shot to beat the buzzer. How about that from Kit Jimenez?
Kit Jimenez already with a bunch of points in this game. Still 3 seconds. That definitely is gonna count para kay Kit Jimenez.
John Fa with a steal. 8 minutes left. John Fa switching hands in midair and now has established his new career high of 26 points.
Determined. This kid, he will move heaven and earth just to try and carry his team. After that missed basket, you get the stop again. But now, it's back to a 60-point lead.
Wow! Where did that come from? Lawrence Paul Victoria gliding, hanging, and finishing. Look
Wow.
at this move.
Woo-wee! Me, oh my. Lawrence Paul Victoria.
Yan ang inaabangan ng mga tao dito.
Nabuhay ang Pasay Astrodome.
Castro with the ball. 4-second differential. Game clock and shot clock. Cuevas drives. It's short. Osicos to Espiritu. And Bulacan with a chance to win this game. Sumido. 5 seconds. JR Sumido with the runner. Oh! JR Sumido with a basket to give Bulacan the lead and possibly their first win of the season.
Kakaiba yung tapang na pinakita ni JR Sumideron. But this running shot, momentum carrying him to the left side, could be the possible game winner.
Big time plays from the Kuyas here down the stretch.
Kada half, lamang ang Rizal kontra Imus, 50-37, a 13-point lead enjoyed by the Golden Coolers. And this is much more competitive game, Coach Mike, compared to what we saw no in the first quarter. Nakita natin Rizal jumped out of the gates after Imus led 5-4. They went on a 20-0 run, and Imus was able to score for, actually scoreless sila for 7 minutes during that stretch. But to their credit, nakabawi sila dito in the second quarter with Reggie Boy Basibas scoring as well as Mark Doligon.
Oo. And they outscored actually itong Rizal in the second quarter, 26-19. But the offensive rebounds continues to be an advantage para dito sa Rizal. They are number 1 when it comes to second chance points. And right now we're seeing that at the 7-0 on that second chance points stat line. And the fast breaks really have been one of the factors that led to Imus coming back. They took advantage of the defense coming in late, especially those drives of Mark Doligon and JJ Caspe.
12 points for Mark Doligon, 4 points apiece for Jerome Ong, JJ Caspe, Kent Aryar. So si Caspe at si Aryar hindi pa gumagana para dito sa Imus. Sa panig ng Rizal, Alwin Alday leading them in scoring with 8 points, 7 each from Mike Cañete and Neil Tolentino. And Jeric Serrano late in the second quarter providing that scoring punch for the Golden Coolers with 6. And Imus, if they could figure things out and find a way to be more competitive here in the second half, this could be a brand new ball game. And Robbie Naibe will start the third para dito sa Rizal. Just a quick shout out, of course, walang iba kundi ang better half ni Robbie, si Miss Hannah Lirazan, who unfortunately can't make the trip here to Mindoro. Also shout out to Manny Diaz, Ben Roger Nicolas, Nilo Gaspe, Philam San Juan, Mark Anthony Bual, and Marlon Corpus.
Yeah, I want to get a quick birthday greeting also to a good friend from work, from Billy Gamit, who celebrated his birthday other day ago. Happy birthday to you, Sir Billy, and more happiness to you and Linel and the kids there in New Zealand.
Marco Balagtas opens up the scoring here in the third quarter for Rizal.
The bench actually has been a differentiator para sa Rizal. Laki ng puntos na binigay ng combine nila Cañete, Pingoy, and Mark Balagtas. Again, that's his 6 points off the bench. Neil
Tolentino, hot start in the first. Again, getting a basket in the third quarter.
Would be curious to know kung ano yung best scoring game so far nito ni Neil Tolentino. I think he's had more attempts now than his usual average of 5.
Hook shot by Doligon does not work. Apasible, that pass was broken up. JJ Caspe attacks, floats it up and in. JJ Caspe with 6 points.
Ganong kadali ang basketball para dito kay JJ Caspe. You look at that effort, parang medium effort lang no? Didn't even take so much.
He knows how to get to his spot. Ito si JJ Caspe.
So alam niya na that space is open for me to play in. He lets his skill do the work.
John Apasible with a jumper. 56-39. Doligon. Hinatak ni Neil Tolentino. Dalawang former Arellano chief nagpanggaan doon. Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme magpalamig, free installation for split-type air conditioners.
Staying in control, going the other side of the lane for that right-hand finish for Neil Tolentino. We saw earlier a very similar finish. I think that was his first or second field goal sometime in the first quarter.
Marco Balagtas, Kiano Caballero, Robbie Naive, Neil Tolentino, and John Apasible, the unit to start the third for Coach Ralph Rivera. Same starting unit naman that began the first for Imus. Caballero for free. No. Donigon grabs another board. He attacks. Donigon again can't finish. Robin Ive. Inside, Tolentino lays it up and in, and Rizal padding up their lead back to 19 points. JJ Caspe, long three-point shot, wala pa din. JJ Caspe yet to make a three in this game. 0 of 3 so far. Caballero to Neil Tolentino, thought about it. Now he fires from free. Apasible, nobody boxing him out, and he makes Imus pay with that second chance point.
Again, more second chance opportunities for Rizal. That's 9-0 on that stat line. You see that drive by Kent Aryar. Now, if you're Imus, you have to learn that they made a run on you in the first quarter, and so you can't afford to do that again. You gotta go in and defend against this Golden Coolers team.
Palagtas. Kahit pa na bagyang nabangga siya doon ni Rusey Koga, able to flip that shot up and in. Kent Aryar going to the line for 2 shots.
That time she was on the other foot. It was actually Kent Aryar who beat out Marco Balagtas for that chase space.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Kent Aryar, pasok yung kanyang unang free throw. Former Letran Knight, Kent Aryar. 2 for 2 for a total of 8 points. 62-43 is the score. Apasible to Marco Balagtas. Pass broken up by Kent Aryar. Ball batted around. It ends up with Marco Balagtas. Robin Ive snatches that ball away and scores.
Taking good care of the ball, even in that situation. There were 3 dark shirts underneath.
64-43. Tolentino susugod at nakakuha ng foul.
I don't think I've ever seen Neil Tolentino be aggressive offensively this season than tonight's game. 8 attempts, 11 points. He's 4 out of 5 from the perimeter. He's just staying active offensively, itong si Neil Tolentino. You know him as a defensive player, but right now, he's pretty much doing it on the offensive end.
Itong free throw na ito atid sa atin na Extreme, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Coach Ralph Rivera, former San Beda Red Lion.
Oh yes, of course.
And Neil Tolentino has only had 1 game scoring in double figures. That was against Batangas City on March 21st. That's 3 months ago. And exactly 3 months after that, establishing his new season high in points. As a 3-point shot knocked down by another Red Lion in Rusey Koga.
Good shot by Rusey. I'm sure the mom, Tita Ivy, is very happy seeing Rusey Koga make that 3. Always a fan watching the game.
Balagtas, Bintes. Bola babalik sa panig ng Imus.
It sure looked like off Rizal, so Coach Ralph didn't want to challenge that.
Kent Aryar can't finish. Gets it back. Gets 2 points.
Sipag rin talaga ni Kent Aryar, no? He was the one who made that miss, pero he continued to track that ball until he made that shot.
Robin Ive with a jump shot. 68-48, past the halfway point.
Oh, man.
Oh, great pass. Aryar setting up Rusey Koga, Letran to San Beda, yung nangyari doon.
Sigurado nakangiti na ngayon ang mom ni ni Ryusei Koga. That's 5 quick ones from Ryusei Koga, his son. And time she gets to watch live, pero right now I'm sure she's just watching over Facebook, YouTube, or on Solar.
20-point lead, Aguiar, much more aggressive here in the third, but he turns the ball over. Robbie Naive attacks, lays it up and in. How about Robbie Naive?
Well, I like that little Hesse before he went inside. Really, trying to comprehend looks and reads. And once he got that rock the other way, foot race against JJ, saw 2 guys, went to that open space and got enough finish in him to get that basket in for Rizal.
May timeout ulit galing sa Imus, down by 22 points. Assist of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Sinili pa yung 3 points bago tumira, no? Siniguradong yung paa niya nasa loob.
No, that one basket earlier by Kint Aguiar as he grabbed his own miss. As we see, of course, Paula Mayer, Jennifer Ina Alegre Cruz with Commissioner Kenneth Dorendes, Head of Security Rudy Distrito, and Head of Operations Emer Oreta. And just going back to Kint Aguiar, those were just the first second chance points for Imus, who is in the top 10 in that department coming into this game. Quite peculiar that they're struggling getting those offensive rebounds and second chance points tonight.
That's right. Actually, just a 3-point difference between the second chance points of both teams, pero clearly that stat line is dominated by Rizal being more aggressive on the offensive rebounds and at the same time knocking down those second chance opportunities.
Ang matanong ni Neil, ilang points na siya? 13 points! 13 points ka na, Mr. Energizer. At mukhang gusto pa niyang dagdagan.
I think so too. Clearly, that's his approach to this game.
Naive, susubok sa tres. Walang nag-box out kay Mike Cañete. More second chance points for Rizal. They are number 1 in that department, coming in 17.3. And tonight, they already have 13. One-legged 3-point shot. Basic lang ni JP Pelencion.
Hindi ka na nagugulat no? Basic na basic. Yan. Pag footwork ang pag-uusapan, yan ang magandang kakwentuhan. Si JP. Of course, the other one being Mac Talio.
74-56.
Good flare.
Cañete shooting 43.9% from beyond the arc, knocks down another.
That's why I say it's always dangerous. If a shooter gets the ball up top, he passes it off to a guard and relocates to the nearby wing. Oh no, Neil Tolentino.
Fouled by Jed Ong as he steamrolled his way to the basket. 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Good find right there. A lot of players nowadays turn to that one-legged 3-point shot. And so you have to have a really good muscle memory which on footwork, which JP Pelencion, in my opinion, has one of the really good ones here in the league.
Sabla yung unang free throw ni Neil Tolentino.
Kaya hindi ka na nagugulat
Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer.
And I mean, hindi ka na nagugulat na ipasok ni ni JP Pelencion yung one-legged 3-pointer na yun.
Split at the line for Neil Tolentino, 14 points. 78-53. This is the biggest lead now for Rizal. Foul called on the Golden Coolers. Jerome Ong trooping to the line. Samboy,
That was a good pitch post action between JP Belencion and Jerome Ong. Jed Ong, rather.
first free throw off the mark for Jerome Ong. $78-54 after that make. 24-point lead for Rizal. Alvin Alday, papunta kay Coco Pinggoy. Had 2 threes in the first half. Ito si Coco. Samboy, laban kay Errol. De Leon puts up that free.
Wild shot.
Not close.
Not even close.
Oh, that was a good pass. Soriano, though, unable to control it.
That play, that last sequence was so good for Rizal. They're trying to run a stack action, trying to execute Spain off of it, and after that middle ball screen, but Samboy, got delayed.
Points off turnovers have been a killer. 17 turnovers itong Imus, ginawang 22 points ng Rizal. Alday, wala. Tapikan ng bola, babalik sa Rizal ang bola. Alvin Alday, libre sa 3. Soriano the rebound. Jerome Ong. Slight push. Everything but the finish. Thompson grabs his second rebound. Samboy, baseline drive. Too strong. Soriano with another board.
Close miss.
Guitar got fouled. Shooting 2 shots. Thompson called for his second foul. Guitar back at the line. Guitar so far 3 out of 3 from the free throw line. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Still perfect. 78-56. Cañete, magbababa ng bola. LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Entry pass to Eric Camson, going for the reverse layup.
Eric just a master inside the paint. What a release.
Foul whistled against Rizal. It's gonna go against Coco Pinggoy.
Ang klase yung tinira na yun ni JP Belencion. Yung footwork, yung range, tsaka yung release. All of them have to connive perfectly all together to make that shot. Didn't have enough lift though on that attempt.
By the way, happy birthday to Mr. Lance Picardal, ang buting anak ng ating direktor na si Direk Freddy. Maligayang kaarawan sa'yo.
At Direk Freddy, nag-enjoy kami sa lahat ng mga hinanda mo sa birthday ni Lance. The beach was really good and the pool was really cool. I'm sure nag-enjoy lahat, no?
Balita ko, napasarap ang kanilang selebrasyon.
Oo.
80-58 ang ating talaan, 22-point lead. Cañete ulit sa ilalim, high-low play. Thompson setting up Mike inside.
A good read of a fronted post attack. Really just trying to find a way to score.
Jerome Ong, alusot sa depensa ni Alvin Alday. 82-60. 9 seconds left in the third. Camson drives. Ball tapped by Valderrama. Ooh, it was off Eric Camson. Aguiar, still enough time. Soriano thought he got fouled. Third quarter comes to a close. saw here, Imus, at the half, they were able to chop this lead down to 13. Pero itong Rizal lumayo na naman in the third. Highlights of the game brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
Well, it was a 20-point quarter again for Imus, pero Rizal scored 32, and the guys have shot the ball well from the outside. Matter of fact, half of their shots going in so far in this game, and we talked about it. Second chance opportunities, clearly an advantage para dito sa Rizal. The bench has been real good as well. They got a lot of help from the different guys coming off the bench for Rizal Golden Coolers.
Papasok tayo sa fourth quarter. Lamang Rizal ng 22 points laban sa Imus, 82-60. Gixxer fan of the game, born for greatness. Yeah, we're practically a full house dito po sa loob ng Pola Gymnasium. Sa bayan po ng Pola, Oriental, Mindoro. Glad to have you with us here. It's our second time here in Pola this season. Unang pagkakataon, nanalo ang Mindoro laban sa Parañaque in their very first home game last April 5. Gusto nilang dugtungan yan. Pero matindi ang kalaban ng Mindoro mamaya. Ang kalaban nila ang Muntinlupa Cagers. That's gonna be a good matchup. Just next. Itong quarter scoring, Rizal plus 20 in quarter number 1. Bumawi bagyang Imus with a 26-19 second period. At here in the third, 32-23. And it's been the defense of Imus that's been pretty much lacking here. In this ball game laban dito sa Rizal.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, yung scoring in 20, that's good, but it's not just about making shots, it's getting stops. And as much as you have good scorers, you also got to get the defensive stops, and you try and trim that gap.
Thompson came off the bench to start the second half. Fades away and made it look easy. 26-point lead now for Rizal. Iikot si Mark Doligon at nakakuha ng foul. Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Yeah, pretty much a good move right there by Eric Camson. And what allows him to do that is coming from the power of those legs. Getting that fade with a really good release. Hindi nagbabago yung release niya because he's got really good base power, and that pretty much is the kind of jump shot that you get out of Eric Camson.
Dalawang free throw na ipasok ni Mark Doligon. Hindi pa natin masyadong nakikita dito sa second half si JJ Caspe. He has played 22 minutes.
Nice pass.
Oh, great look. Eric Camson able to slither inside for the basket.
Yan ang ganda ng timing ng pagkakapasa ni Samboy De Leon. Had to get past his defender first to see that angle. Free space for Eric.
Aguiar lost the basketball on his way up. De Leon with the lefty finish.
Couple of good ones for Samboy.
Melenchon Mintes. Coco. Forward pass to Alwin Alday.
Oh,
Ganda
wow.
nung hanap sa ilalim. Easy lang para kay Eric Camson.
Ako mas nagandahan ako doon, alam mo, is nakita niya yung yung mismatch underneath. He had Rusey Koga on Eric Camson. Either way you put it, that's positional advantage, favor for Camson.
Camson maintaining his pivot foot. Now he grabs his own miss. Goes up strong for the putback.
Alvin Alday ends up with a smile right there after that made basket with Eric Camson. And what that tells me from a team dynamic, you know, there's a lot of togetherness here for Rizal. I mean, Alvin was not the one who scored, it was Eric, but you see that level of joy seeing the active Eric Camson in that and those points earlier.
Alday Can't get past the defense of Kerr Bangeles. This is the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Hirap nung angulo ng pasa na yun. Pero nailusot. All because of the looks of Samboy De Leon.
You have a timeout with 7 minutes and 11 seconds left in the fourth. Fan of the game brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. At magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat na nanonood live on the official Facebook page and YouTube channel. And we're also on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. At ngayong Sabado, nandito tayo sa Pola. Oriental Mindoro, Imus at Rizal magkatunggali in our second game. Later on, we'll have Mindoro Tamaraos defending their turf kontra sa Muntinlupa Cagers. Guitar continues to attack. He's been perfect at the line. This free throw at sa atin Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
Kinaryar pretty much also on the previous game, solid na double-double guy na rin ito no?
Yeah. He's had a double-double in 5 of their past 6 games. In 9 overall. So 9 double-doubles in the season for Quintaryar. And he's actually averaging a double-double. 12.3 points, 10 rebounds. Alvin Alday though, able to score.
At saka every season, tumataas yung stock nito ni Quintaryar no? This season is just, I feel, gonna be very promising for him, and I'm sure a lot of the other teams are starting to see him and might consider him in their roster. Oh, nice screen right there of that drive by Mike.
That was just too easy for Mike Cañete as Rizal with a 31-point lead. Koga with his third triple.
Mami Ivy, kung ano man po ang binigay ninyong pagkain o pabaon dito kay Ryusei Koga bago pumunta dito sa Pola, yan po ang patuloy ninyong ibigay sa kanya na napakaganda na 3-point shooting niya.
De Leon, wala yung kanyang tres. Serrano inside, Samboy.
Oh, travel.
Yep, he traveled. 98-70 the score. Under 6 minutes left here in the fourth. Rusey Koga.
One more.
Mainit si Rusey Koga ngayong gabi.
I told you. Nasa pabaon yan ni mom niya, si Tita Ivy.
Imus is actually shooting much better from beyond the arc. 8 of 19 as compared to only 5 of 24 by Rizal.
Yeah, and Ryusei Koga is 4 out of 5 from 3. He's got, 14 points already in this game. I say this is his best scoring so far.
Yeah. Ito, layo nitong pinakawalan niya. 3-point shot number 4 for Rusey Koga. Foul called on Rizal. Ang naging difference dito para sa Golden Coolers was they were plus 34 in points in the paint. 60-26. Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Kapos yung unang free throw ni Kerr Bangeles.
And Curb earlier was very instrumental and that little comeback run para dito sa sa Imus, but that fizzled out so far here in the second half. Nice drive by Estacio.
Estacio with his first 2 points of the ball game, 100-73. Past the halfway point. of the fourth. Belencion one-on-one against Eric Pili. Sidesteps his way into a free. No. Bangiles nakikipagbakbakan sa ilalim. Nakuha yung offensive rebound. Doligon. Tough shot over Jeric Serrano. Estacio nagmamadali. Spin move. Estacio niyoyo pa. Serrano can't get the putback. Belencion, baseball pass papunta kay Kerr Bangiles. Ariar. Usay Konga, walang alinlangal pumukol sa tres.
First miss off a 3 after 3 attempts for Yusei. Nice drive by
Estacio able to attack the closeout.
just too easy for Aaron to get to that spot. Didn't have anyone helping out from the Brotherhood team.
102-73. Doligon sa poste. Mark Doligon. Hook shot, no good, but foul called. Uy! Posibleng goaltend ito dahil may gumalaw nung net.
Yeah, that rim did get touched as that ball was in flight going to the ring.
Nasa ring pa eh. Ayan,
oh,
oh.
yun, nasa ring pa, right. Mukhang papasok na eh, no?
So that's gonna be a goaltending violation on Chana Pasible.
So this should be a +1 here for Mark.
JJ Caspe returns after a lengthy rest here in the second half. Mark Doligon. Ooh. Sablay yung kanyang free throw.
Mark is 5 of 8 from the line.
Eric Pili, free for a free, short. Caspe forward pass to Kit Ariar. Lost it. Eric Pili sidesteps his way for 2 points.
Eric Pili starting to get more active offensively for Rizal. Much as they took him in for, in my opinion, defensive purposes, you can't deny the fact na scorer din ito si Eric Pili.
Bola natapik. Pasible, walang foul na tinawag. Belencion. Caspe sa kaliwa, binigay kay Doligon, laban kay John Pasible. Doligon, inside, banks it in.
Good move by Mark. Pretty much going right side on any attempt. Parang maganda yung release ni Mark, no? Than he is going left.
18 points for Mark Doligon, but 7 turnovers as well. Belencion. Foul, itinawag, laban kay John Apasible.
Ibang klase talaga yung footwork ni JP Belencion. Couldn't get that finish though on that attempt.
2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Looking like win number 10 para dito sa Rizal. And this is an important win para sa kanila because they lost those big matchups against Binyan, Jensan, Pampanga. At yung mga yan, lalo yung mga nasa South, Binyan, Jensan. Yung Jensan, unti-unti umaangat. They've been much better lately. Mark Cruz is back for them. Binyan just lost a close contest against Pampanga also on the home floor of the Giant Lanterns. Uy! Meron Estacio. That's a big boy move inside. Using his strength to get the basket.
Ayun talagang nga namang all strength yun. See this here, he tipped that ball, able to recover again. Bungguan, pero naitapos pa rin yan ni Aaron. Lakas ng katawan.
Laban yun kay Mark Doligon.
Yes.
Timeout, labang ang Rizal. 29 points, 106-77. Next 3 games of the Imus Brotherhood on June 26 against the Bacolod Tubo Slashers, July 4 versus the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys, and July 11 kalaban nila Cebu. Steal here by Eric Pili. Lays it up and in. By the way, quick shout out also to the Sarmiento family sa Tanawan City. Pinapabate ng ating game producer na si Jeff Evangelista. Siya yung pinakamalapit dito sa ating lahat.
Oo nga.
Nasa van.
Oo nga.
Di ba?
Pero in fairness to Jeff naman, madalas naman malayo sa lugar na yung mga laro natin, di ba? In fairness, so okay na yan, Jeff.
110-77, 33 points the lead. At yung Imus on the verge of losing 4 of their last 5 games. Estacio with 2 more points.
At saka, when you look at the games that Imus actually lost, the close ones have been 5 points against Pampanga, 6 points against San Juan, 7 points against Muntinlupa, 6 points against Caloocan. So what that tells me is that if they won those games, they would have been roughly number 8, number 7, in the standings. Could even be in the 6 or 5 spot. And so it's not a matter of do they have enough firepower. It's a matter of them stringing, good games together as a team.
Ang maganda simula nila dito mga tinalo nila kagaya ng Zamboanga. Saka ng Mindoro.
Yeah. Yung Mindoro na lang, that opener where they won 8 points, nobody was expecting them to win over Mindoro in that game. But they surprised Ken Bono and the rest of the guys on opening day. Kami ni Javi, we covered that in Pangasinan. So even us, we were surprised at how, especially JJ Caspe and JV De La Cruz have combined all together, not to mention Mark Daligon and the rest of the guys.
Foul called on Rizal here, Labayin. Meanwhile for Rizal, it's been up and down lately for them as well.
Actually, totoo.
Diba?
Totoo. Yung mga one possession losses against Caloocan, San Juan, Binyan, and Pampanga, I think those 3 mattered. They started parang 5-0 diba? They started 5-0 and until they got to Abra where they lost by 15. That was their biggest loss at that point. And even to this point, that's their biggest loss. They've been losing only by an average of roughly about 2 points in all their losses. Well, count out the one by Jensen because that's 7 points point difference. But I guess what we're saying is that if you're gonna sleep on these guys, the Rizal Golden Coolers, I tell you, come playoffs, they might just bite you.
Talo sila 1 point laban sa Caloocan at San Juan. They lost to Binyan and Pampanga by only 3 points. And their only loss in double figures was against Abra by 15 as they secure win number 10, the Rizal Centro Mall Golden Coolers. Notch a victory here in Pola Oriental Mindoro. Our best player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
And very clearly, Neil Tolentino from the get-go was looking to not just defend but even to score, and he's done it in a really good fashion where he scored 14 points on a 5 of 7 shooting, 71% from there, and a good field goal free throw trip of 3 of 4. And as well as contributing 3 rebounds, an assist, and 1 steal. And so this to me is just the better overall offensive and defensive game that we all have been waiting from Neil Tolentino.
Final score po natin, 114 for Rizal, 77 para sa Imus. Let's go courtside to Ms. Gianna Lianes.
Congratulations to our best player of the game, Neil Tolentino. Neil, alam ko na ang mga recent losses ng inyong team ay naging wake-up call talaga, lalo na your last loss. Ano yung mga natutunan nyo doon na na-apply nyo sa game ngayon?
Siguro natuto kami sa masakit na pagkatalo na yun. Na-motivate kami na, ayun nga, sabi ni coach na if kaya namin i-finish, ipanalo namin kasi kailangan namin makapanalo sa mga malalakas na team para umangat kami sa 1-6 na standing.
Now, Neil, bago pa mag-umpisa ang laro, actually sinabi na ng Imus na pinaghandaan nila ang bilis ng inyong koponan. Pero paano niyo sinigurado na you are still outrunning them and out-hustling them?
Pinagandaan talaga namin sila, although last game namin yung Pampanga maba yung break namin, hindi kami nag-relax. Tinrabaho namin yun. At yun, yung depensa talaga, laging pinapaalala ni coach yung sipag at huwag kami magre-relax. Kasi lahat ng makakalaban namin dito malalakas.
Neil, I know your team traveled far. Talagang ginawa niyong worth it with this win today. Sino ang gusto mong pasalamatan?
Marami po. Una-una, binabati ko yung Governor Nini Henares and Governor Ito Henares at kay Mayor Junjun Henares. Nagpapasalamat po ako sa Rizal na team owner na Golden Cooler na si Jaime Lim at Boss Joel Conde at sa Centro Mall na si Boss Andre Cruz. Salamat Boss Andre na tumulong sa panganganak ng asawa ko po. Centro Mall, Golden Coolers, Dreamwave, Powers Clothing and Anytime Fitness. And yung binabati ko nga pala yung anak ko, first baby ko na si Amia. At maraming salamat sa asawa ko na pag-aalaga and kay Mama Aji. At yung mami ko na birthday niya ngayon na nasa Pampanga. At mga kapatid ko dyan, mahal ko kayo. Uli na, binabati ko yung pinsan ko na nasa Dubai na si Patrick at yung editor ko na si Matthew Resurrection. Salamat sa Panginoon. Thank you po.
Thank you very much and congratulations to our best player of the game, Neil Tolentino of the Rizal Central Mall Golden Coolers. Our best player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Back to you, Ken and Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Gianna. And up next, Mindoro Tamaraws, another home game. But this time, a worthy adversary awaits in the Muntinlupa Cagers. At sa ilang saglit lang yan, kaya huwag kayong aalis. Magbabalik ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.